been driving towards a house that had not existed for decades. I thought of turning around then as I drove down a wide street that had once been a flint lane behind a barley field, of turning back and leaving the past undisturbed. But I was curious. The old house, one I had lived in for 7 years, from when I was 5 until I was 12, the house had been knocked down and was lost for good. The new house, once the one my parents had built at the bottom of the garden between the azalea bushes and the green circle in the grass we called the fairy ring, that had been sold 30 years ago. I slowed the car as I saw the new house. It would always be the new house in my head. I pulled up into the doorway, observing the way they had built out on the mid-70s architecture. I had forgotten that the bricks of the house were chocolate brown. The new people had made my mother's tiny balcony into a 2-story sunroom. I stared at the house, remembering less than I had expected about my teenage years. No good times, no bad times. I'd lived in that place for a while as a teenager. It didn't seem to be any part of who I was now. I backed the car out of the driveway. It was time, I knew, to drive to my sister's bustling, cheerful house, all tidied and stiff for the day. I would talk to people whose existence I had forgotten years before, and they would ask me about my marriage and whether I was seeing anyone. I wasn't even sure that I could, not yet. And then they would ask about my children, all grown up. They have their own lives. They wish they could be here today and work. Doing fine, thank you. I would say, never knowing how to talk about what I do. If I could talk about it, I would not have to do it. I make art sometimes. I make true art. And sometimes it fills the empty places in my life. Some of them, not all. We would talk about the departed. We would remember the dead.